Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you've always been here, thank you so much for your support. Today I'm going to be educating myself on the William Shatner, the Battle of Vimy Ridge. This was specially requested by one of our patrons, and thank you so much for this special request. I don't know much about this, so obviously I don't have any thing to say, but I'm very happy that this was recommended, that I learn about alongside my viewers. And so without further ado, let's dive right into today's video. Battle of Vimy Ridge, okay? Are those dead bodies?
The winter of 1917 was the coldest France had seen in 40 years. In April, there was still snow on Vimy Ridge. The Germans controlled the ridge, and thousands of French and British lives had been lost trying to capture it. Now, it was the Canadians' turn. At 5 a.m. on Easter Monday, April 9th, 30,000 troops huddled below the ridge, many of them in subterranean caverns that had been dug, waiting for the signal. Zero hour was 5:30. The attack had been meticulously planned. Behind the lines, a replica of Vimy Ridge had been created, and the Canadians trained there until they knew the terrain as well as the Germans. They had detailed maps supplied by reconnaissance flights. If old Kaiser Bill only saw the preparations that had been made, wrote 21-year-old Lieutenant Claude Williams, he would throw up the sponge, I'm sure. Each of the four divisions had an objective indicated by a colored line. The black line was the enemy's forward defenses. The red line was the taking of Hill 145. The blue line included Hill 135, and the brown line was the German second line. The coordinated assaults were timed to the minute. At 5:30, more than 3,000 pieces of artillery roared. The first wave of 15,000 infantry stormed the ridge. The German machine guns were devastating, but the infantry pushed through to the front line trenches. By 6:15, the black line had been taken. Concealed by snow and smoke, the 1st Division advanced toward the red line. By 7 a.m., the German defenses had been cleared, although casualties were mounting. By 11 a.m., the blue line was in Canadian hands, and by 2 p.m., the brown line was secure. By the end of the following day, all that remained was the Pimple, the northern tip of the ridge, which was defended by Prussian guards. At 5 a.m. on April 12th, the Canadians hit the Pimple with heavy artillery. The 10th Brigade advanced and met with fierce hand-to-hand fighting. By 6 a.m., the position was taken. "I am King of the Pimple," declared Brigadier General Edward Hilliam. Vimy was taken. Though the costs were high, 10,602 casualties, 3,598 dead. But in 6 days, the Corps had advanced 5 kilometers, taken Vimy Ridge, taken 4,000 prisoners, killed many of the enemy, and captured its guns. "The grandest day the Corps has ever had," said Major General Arthur Curry. The attack was carried out exactly as planned. The sight was awful and wonderful. Vimy Ridge defined the Canadian Corps. It was filled with men who had been born in Britain, but they now considered themselves Canadian. They had proven themselves as an elite corps. They had accomplished what the French and British couldn't. Gregory Clark, an infantry lieutenant, wrote, "As far as I could see south, north, along the miles of the ridge, there were Canadians, and I experienced my first full sense of nationhood. At home, the country felt the same way." Vimy Ridge became a touchstone of Canadian nationalism, our proudest moment in the war.
It was such an honor and a privilege to watch this, or how do I put it? It is, not was because I just watched it. It is such an honor to have this documented. I think it holds a very special place in the hearts of the Canadians. And every time I get this privilege to learn about things like this, one thing is always constant: resilience. And there's nothing that reminds me to hold on to life more than stories like this, because being in difficult situation and still being determined to win, to make it out regardless of the sacrifice that it entails, that is such a powerful message that I feel like lots of people, especially in my generation, Gen Z, have to learn, because we are fond of just letting things go when they're no longer easy, when they're no longer making us happy, and we want to latch on to, something else real quick without, many people, I'm not trying to speak for the whole generation, but it's something that is very common with young people of these days, including myself, is the fact that when things are no longer comfortable, we want to run away. And if that was the case with this situation, with this story, they wouldn't have gotten the victory that I am now watching and learning from. So that is my key takeaway from this. And let me know in the comment section what your key takeaway from this is. But overall, I found it very inspiring and also educative. Until next time, guys, thank you guys so much for dropping by my YouTube channel today. Please don't forget to support the channel by leaving a thumbs up on this video, supporting the channel by subscribing, and even letting me know your thoughts in the comment section. And of course, turning on your notification bell so you don't miss my next video. Until next time, guys. Bye.